Hi, my name is Mariah De La Garza, and today I will be discussing genetics of intelligence. So what exactly is genetics of intelligence? Before I get into it, I want to break it down into terms. When I'm talking about genetics, I am referring to your inheritance in the sense of DNA being passed on from generation to generation. When talking about intelligence, we can describe that as your general cognitive ability. Now that I have defined what I'm going to be discussing, I want to talk about why genetics of intelligence is a topic of interest. Many people have always wondered if your IQ is directly influenced by your parents. So the big question would be whether or not your parents' IQ affects your ability to learn. There have been tons of research done leading to what we currently know about this topic to date. It has been discovered that generally, parents with higher IQs tend to have children with high IQs, while parents with lower IQs tend to have children with low IQs. Although there is a relationship that links the two, someone's genetics is not the greatest influence when it comes to a person's intellectual development. With several studies that have been done, such as the Glenwood State School study and the Milwaukee Project, it has been proven that a great factor in a child's learning ability is very dependent on the environment they are brought up in. Like the Glenwood State School study, they took 13 orphan children who had been very environmentally deprived and placed them in the personal care of substitute mothers for a total of 18 months. At the end of the 18 months, there was an average increase of 29 IQ points for each child. For this particular study, they did do a follow-up of about 2.5 years later, where they found that 11 of the 13 children had been adopted and their IQ points had only increased since then, while the 2 children who had not been adopted lost their initial gain. So even though genetics of intelligence seems like a harmless thing to research, there has been some controversy surrounding the topic. No one questions that our genes help determine the way we look, but what do people think about intelligence being inherited as a trait? While scientists continuously research how genes contribute to someone's intelligence, they are being asked to consider if it's ethical to study genetics of intelligence. One of the biggest problems that people feel could arise from such a topic is if this type of work supports racist notions of biological differences. There have been arguments where people have said that any research that bolsters the hereditary concept of intelligence could actually hurt the disadvantaged, since it almost inevitably would be used to support racist, classic, gendered notions of intelligence. Many people believe that if such research is going to continue, there should be limitations or steps that could be taken to ensure historical errors aren't repeated. In conclusion, from all the research that has been done to date, it is perceived that a parent's IQ is a possible factor to a child's intellectual development, but it does not merely define the child's future. When it comes to intelligence, not only is it determined by the quality of which a person is taught, but also the quantity of education a single person receives.